let's get into tight ends, and then let's get into our TV draft. Zach Ertz. I see the name, and I'm reflexively not excited. Get me excited.
It's kind of hard to get excited. I mean, you couldn't be much older or crustier than Zach Ertz, and like sleeper, you want the exciting, the young guy, the breakout, the one that's going to go bananas. But we'll talk about this 35-year-old tight end that last year finished 8th in targets at the position, 91, 6th in catches, 66, 4th in touchdowns with 7, 7th in total PPR fantasy points. And he's the tight end 20 right now in drafts because he's old and crusty. We're talking about Jaden Daniels' security blanket right now, especially without Terry McLaurin. In fact, Henry McKenna of the Washington beat scene said, without McLaurin on the field, Zach Ertz has been so far Jaden Daniels' security blanket to get the passing game going in joint practices. Lots of quick passes over the middle. And I saw that at Pat's camp. He was peppered relentlessly over there. And you think about it, it's like, yeah, again, not exciting, but Kingsbury loves this guy. Cliff Kingsbury, their offensive coordinator. He was the tight end 5 his last healthy season with Kingsbury before coming over to the Commanders there. Tight end 6 in fantasy points per game before he got hurt in 2022. And then 2023 was kind of, he was old, he was bouncing around. He was kind of hurt. But then last year we had that top 7 tight end finish. So 5, 6, and 7 as his finishes under Cliff Kingsbury these last few years in fantasy points per game. And then you look at the playoff stretch, and this is where it is like, maybe you can get actually excited about Zach Ertz. His final 11 games, he put up 18 PPR points, 15, 12, 4.5, 2.2. Yeah, duds. Okay, it happens at tight end. 25 points, 15 points, 4.3, 13, and 21. So like multiple, and when you look at that list, 70% of those were top 12 tight end weeks. And 3 of those were top 3 tight end weeks as well for Zach Ertz. And that last game, the playoff game, he had 16 targets, 11 catches, and 104 yards. I mean, that is pretty insane. And so, yes, it's hard to get excited about Zach Ertz, but it's not hard to get excited about Jaden Daniels. It's not hard to get excited about Jaden Daniels is potentially number 2 weapon on this team. Deebo Samuel probably going to be the number 1 if McLaurin holds out. I imagine McLaurin gets paid and they have Deebo and McLaurin, but then you still have Zach Ertz, who's been so reliable in the red zone over the middle of the field to convert those third downs. So to me, it's I guess, a less better Ertz. Like he's not that exciting, but he knows where to go. He's veteran savvy. He's a big body in the red zone. When I saw him at camp, I was just like, who is this guy? Like, he is humongous. Oh, my God, that's Zach Ertz. Like, he was moving very, very well for a 35-year-old tight end. So I can bet on this offense, and I can bet on, at worst, the number 3 in this game, and maybe the number 2 and real security blanket for Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't have to be that great to be a top 8, 6 tight end. We know that. So
yes,
it could happen. Absolutely. In the games you just rattled off end of the season, large sample size and definitely a lot more good than bad, and some really, really good. So I get it.
Yeah, exactly. So some steadiness there. If you want a more exciting tight end sleeper, I did want to balance them out.
All right, let's end with somebody exciting.
We'll go with an exciting rookie to me, Elijah Arroyo. And not just because I can go Arroyo, like a wolf howl with his name. I absolutely love this talent, though. He fell to 50th overall in the draft, but GM John Schneider for the Seahawks saying, had he not got hurt his senior year, he expected him to be a top 15 pick because of how special he is. And he is truly an insane athlete. 250-pound man that clocked a 21.8 miles per hour run last season. Only 6 NFL players, none were tight ends, hit that. Xavier Worthy's top speed, the fastest 40 time ever, was 21.46 last year, and Arroyo had 21.8, faster than anything Xavier Worthy logged on an NFL field. 9.1 yards after the catch per reception in 2024. Top 6 among all power conference tight ends since 2015. 96th percentile there. 27% of his targets came 20 yards or more downfield. So he is perfect for this inspired. It's the Clint Kubiak is now the play caller for the Seahawks, and he has that classic play action game where you establish the run and then you use that to go deep, kind of like in the mold. It's modeled after what they do with George Kittle over there with the 49ers. And I'm not at all saying Arroyo's about to be the next George Kittle, but he's an athletic freak that's going to be streaking all over the place. And head coach Mike McDonald after the draft said, Elijah Arroyo, he can run an extensive route tree. He can split out wide and do X receiver type things. You're talking about his tight end here. Bigger body than what we probably have on the roster, just provides a ton of value. And then he's going to go in there as an actual inline tight end, create some of those bigger personnel formations. That's what the vision we have for him. Very, very exciting is the quote from their head coach McDonald there. And so they cut Noah Fant. It's not just puff quotes. They cut Noah Fant for this guy, really giving him that path. And apparently he's in a competition right now with AJ Barner, who is fine. He's a good blocker, so he'll probably be on the field a bit. But in terms of playmaking tight ends, when you have no Metcalf here anymore, and they're talking about him potentially being their ex-wide receiver, big body guy, to send him down the field, and again, faster speed than all but 6 players of last year on the NFL field, none of them being tight ends. Like, he just kind of redefines the mold of tight end and could be a real freak at the position. So that's the type of exciting talent that I don't mind stashing on the bench, and let's see what happens.
No, and honestly, if you're taking a stab at tight end, athletic freak is pretty much always where I start.
Right. Right. Why not? Right. Like, right. Otherwise, well, I guess you could go Zach Ertz. And that's what I love to do, though, is like, I like a nice Zach. If I'm really, what I want to do with tight end is I want Kittle. Like, I think Kittle's the best pick of fantasy drafts right now. If not him, you go even earlier on Bowers, because I think he's just going to be a Travis Kelce going in the top 7 for the foreseeable future. And you can get him in round 2 right now. So I like that. I want an elite tight end. But if I do punt the position, I really have no issue with going Zach Ertz. I'm going to get probably top 8 production. It's not going to be sexy. And then stashing an Elijah Arroyo or a few other of these rookies that I have in the draft guide as well. There's a lot of exciting upside at tight end late. So if you don't get one of those elite guys, you punt the position and you look at a couple of these. You pair a high floor Zach Ertz or Hunter Henry with an Elijah Arroyo. And I think you give yourself a good shot at tight end to have a nice room there. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.